Hey there, welcome back to the Master Coaching Podcast. I'm your host Ajay, and today we are going to talk about something that's close to all our hearts. Negative, the tricky waters of conflict and communication relationships, and how to build strong, healthy relationships. This episode is based on a fascinating conversation I had with my wife and world-renowned emotional health educator, Dr. Neeta Bhushan. So, why don't we break down some of these ideas and see how we can apply them in our own lives? Let's start by exploring the power of brave conversations. Yes, I'm talking about those uncomfortable, dreaded talks that make your palms sweat just thinking about them. But here's the thing, these conversations are crucial for growth in any relationship. Brave conversations are the dialogues where we express our deepest concerns, vulnerabilities, and unmet needs. When we avoid these topics, we might keep the peace temporarily, but it often leads to built up resentment and misunderstanding. By facing these issues head on, we not only create the air, but also build a foundation of trust and openness. So, how can we encourage brave conversations in our relationships? Here's a powerful technique you can use with your clients called the safe space technique. The safe space technique is all about creating an environment where both partners feel secure enough to open up. Start by setting some ground rules for these conversations. For instance, agree that you'll both speak from a place of I rather than you. This means saying, I feel instead of you make me feel. It's a subtle shift, but it makes a big difference in keeping the conversation non-confrontational. Next, choose a neutral time and place for these discussions. Avoid bringing up heavy topics during moments of high stress or when either partner is distracted. Instead, find a quiet moment when you can both focus entirely on the conversation. When it's time to talk, start with something positive. Acknowledge what you appreciate about your partner or something they've done well recently. This helps to set a positive tone and remind both of you that the conversation is coming from a place of love and care. Then, gently ease into the topic you need to discuss. Be honest but kind, and remember to listen as much as you speak. Encourage your partner to share their perspective without interruption. This mutual exchange fosters understanding and empathy, making it easier to find common ground. By setting ground rules, choosing the right moment, and leading with positivity, you can encourage brave conversations that strengthen your relationship. Now, here's another gem from this conversation: emotional regulation. This is all about managing your emotions, especially during conflicts, to ensure we communicate effectively and maintain healthy connections. Before diving into any serious discussion, it's vital to check in with yourself. Are you feeling calm or are you about to explode? When we are emotionally charged, our rational thinking takes the back seat. We might say things we don't mean or react in ways that escalate conflicts. But by regulating our emotions, we can approach situations calmly, communicate more effectively, and find solutions rather than fueling arguments. Here's a practical technique that you can teach to your clients. Let's call it the stop technique. This simple yet powerful method can help individuals pause and regain control during emotionally intense moments. STOP stands for stop, take a breath, observe, and then proceed. Here's how it works. First is stop. When you feel a surge of emotion, whether it's anger, frustration, or anxiety, simply stop what you're doing. This creates a brief pause between the emotion and your reaction. Then take a breath. Focus on your breathing. Take a few deep, slow breaths. That helps calm down your nervous system and brings you back to the present moment. Then comes observe. Check in with yourself. Notice what you're feeling and where it's coming from. Are there any specific triggers? What thoughts are running through your mind? Observing without judgment helps you understand your emotional state better. Then comes P, proceed. Once you've taken a moment to breathe and observe, proceed with intention. Decide on a response that aligns with your values and your goals rather than reacting impulsively. The stop technique is incredibly effective because it's easy to remember and can be used anytime, anywhere. It empowers you to take control of your emotions rather than letting them dictate your actions. Let's put this into a real life scenario. Imagine you are in a heated discussion with your partner. Tensions are rising and you can feel yourself getting defensive. Instead of reacting, you remember the stop technique. You pause, take a few breaths, observe your feelings of frustration, and then proceed by calmly expressing your concerns. This approach can transform a potential argument into a constructive conversation. Which takes me to another critical topic of maintaining healthy relationships. managing expectations and setting boundaries. These two elements are essential for preventing misunderstandings and ensuring both partners feel respected and valued. Expectations are the beliefs we hold about how we and others should behave in a relationship. Boundaries, on the other hand, are the limits we set to protect our emotional and physical well being. When expectations are clear and boundaries are respected, relationships can thrive without unnecessary friction. Why is this so important? Well, when expectations aren't communicated, we can end up feeling disappointed or even resentful when our partners don't meet them. Similarly, with our boundaries, we might feel overwhelmed or taken for granted. By managing expectations and setting clear boundaries, we create a balanced relationship where both partners know what's expected and how to feel secure. Let's explore how we can apply this in real life using the Expectations and Boundaries worksheet. This tool helps individuals and couples clarify their expectations and define their boundaries in a structured way. Here's how it works. First, grab a worksheet or a blank piece of paper and divide it into two sections: expectations and boundaries. Expectations. Under this section, write down what you expect from your partner and your relationship. Be specific. Instead of writing, I expect respect, I expect us to listen to each other without interrupting. This clarity helps both partners understand what's important to each other. Then you'll go to the boundaries section and then you will write down in the boundaries section, list what you need to feel safe and respected. Again, be specific. For example, I need time alone to recharge after work, or I need us to discuss major decisions together. These boundaries ensure your emotional and physical needs are met. Once you've filled out your worksheet, share it with your partner. This opens up a dialogue where both of you can discuss and negotiate these expectations and boundaries. It's crucial to approach this conversation with an open mind and a willingness to compromise. Remember, it's about finding a balance that works for both of you. It's not about my way or the highway. Let's put this into a real life scenario, okay? Imagine you expect your partner to help with household chores, but they are unaware of this expectation. By writing it down and discussing it, you can agree on a fair division of tasks. Similarly, if you need alone time to unwind, but your partner doesn't know this, setting that boundary can prevent misunderstanding and ensure you both get your needs met. It's a straightforward tool, yet it's a powerful tool to help you manage expectation and set clear boundaries, fostering a healthier, more balanced relationship. The last nugget of wisdom I want to share from this conversation is the importance of building a foundation of trust. Trust isn't just about fidelity. It's about knowing that your partner has your back, even when things get tough. Nita compared trust to a trampoline. It supports you and helps you bounce back from a conflict without causing damage. When trust is present, both partners feel safe to express their true selves, share vulnerabilities, and work through conflicts constructively. It eliminates the constant second guessing and anxiety that can undermine a relationship. Trust allows love to grow without fear. So, how can we build and maintain this foundation of trust in our relationships? Enter the trust jar technique. Let's play with this. The trust jar technique is a visual and interactive way to reinforce trust building behaviors. Imagine a jar where every positive action that builds trust is a marble added to the jar. It's a simple but powerful way to see the cumulative effect of a small, consistent acts of reliability and honesty. Here's how you can implement it. Start by getting a jar and a set of marbles or pebbles. Sit down with your partner and explain that each marble represents a positive action that builds trust. Things like keeping promises, being on time, supporting each other during tough times, or even small gestures of kindness. Every time one of you does something that builds trust, add a marble to the jar. Over time, you'll see the jar fill up, a tangible representation of the trust you built together. This visual cue reinforces the importance of everyday action and keeps trust building top of mind. But remember, trust isn't built overnight. It's the result of consistent positive actions over time. The trust jar technique helps couples see their progress and encourages them to continue investing in their relationship. So there you have it. Some powerful insights from my conversations with Nita that can transform the way we handle conflicts and communicate in our relationships. Remember, it's all about intention, openness, and trust. Start small, practice regularly, and watch your relationship grow stronger every day. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Master Coaching Podcast. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to subscribe and share with someone who might benefit from this discussion. I'm your host, Ajit, and I'll see you next time.